Hey man, how are you?
Hey man, how are you?
Good,
Good to
good.
see you.
Good to see you. Nice to meet finally in this live chat. We finally.
Likewise, man.
Yeah, I read some notes about your story from really young age. You started filming. I'm so curious to hear more from you directly.
Yeah,
How we started this passion at first stage, and next you jumped into a creative agency as the director. And yeah, let's
yeah.
dive in step by step. And next we show a couple of your works.
The thing with being a kid and starting to film, that was something that I just realized like 2 years ago, when I was like looking back at my youth. But yeah, I think like 7 years ago when I made the switch from being an art director on the agency side, I switched to become a director because I like the creating part a little bit more than only the concepting part. No, when I started to direct, I realized that what I was doing professionally now, I was already doing it throughout my career as an art director. I also directed sometimes, and even when I see how art directors now on set behave like an agency, that was not the way how I behaved. I was way more on the lap of a director than how art directors now behave on set. So that's quite funny. So yeah, I don't know. It came this way. I never thought that I would be a director at this age, but yeah, it's just a part of a journey, I guess.
Who was that guy what you were talking with? Who was that?
I don't know honestly. First time I
Yeah.
ever heard about him.
Oh man, nice,
So
nice to be here. I
yeah,
am.
amazing.
I just came back from set, so I have a little white wine
Yeah.
with me, so very Italian.
Yeah. I would love to hear from you your story because you started in a rental company. It's a story like a gaffer story at beginning. Next,
Yeah.
you did editing. You did the whole journey like an old school guy. No,
No,
tell us
definitely,
more.
definitely. I am. I like when I finished school. I wasn't invited to film school, so therefore I needed to learn the basics from the ground, and so we did that, or I did that. I had an internship at a lighting company, and from there on, I just loved lighting and loved the film industry. So yeah, that's where I started.
And why did you choose the food niche at some point?
So when I switched, so 7 years ago, I quit my job as an art director from at the agency side, and I started to yeah to do my own thing, and that meant making way more films and also photography. And at the same time, my brother started a food truck, and I said to my brother, let me do your website, and I can also make some pictures of your products. So that meant food photography, and I said, okay, let's give it a shot. And when I was on the School of Arts, I did photography as well, so I could use that knowledge to make some cool pictures, and I got really good response out of that pictures. So I still had my network in Amsterdam, where all the where the creative industry is. Um, and they said, "Hey Niels, can you make food pictures for this brand and for this brand?" And it started all with social media content. Things were usually, or 6, 7 years ago, there was a little budget for it, and that's why how I got the first jobs as a food photographer, and eventually I met some crew and stuff, and so via my network or through my network I got in touch with this production company, which is just starting up a food production company. And I was very interested because, I like to cook as well. I have a lot of, yeah, I mean, food. I cook really a lot and I love food and I love the way how they portray food. So I thought, yeah, let's give it a shot. And that's also where Justin came in because I knew Justin already from the agency time because we did a project together. But yeah, we didn't. there we are. It's not that we were friends back then, but it's just one of those guys that you meet once in a while. And so 7 years ago, I got this opportunity to make a cool project for this production company in Amsterdam. And I said to Justin, hey, do you want to help me out? And he was also on a crossing point in his career. And he said, hey, yeah, that's a really cool idea. I have some experience in food films. So let's hop on this journey together. And that was 7 years ago. And we're still going strong. I mean, we help each other quite a lot. I shoot with him a lot. And yeah, I mean, food is a really nice way. I mean, your question was why did I choose the niche food? It wasn't really that I totally chose it. It just came on my path and I could do my thing with food. I think that's a better way to portray how this journey went. So, but what I like about shooting food in the way that I do is that it's one very visual. It's very visual appealing, you know, and it's also about visual storytelling, as I call it. And I can do so many things with that unique world of food storytelling. I mean, I'm not like the classical guy to go with if you want to have like really high glossy stuff and everything. But yeah, I'm trying to do things differently. And I think it also describes a little bit my style, is that I want to do things differently.
The funny thing is that when I did lighting, I was the assistant of a well-known director DP called Ronald Koetsier. He's pretty famous and he makes awesome work. He's a very great tabletop specialist. And I was one of his assistants, and later on I became his assistant for also photo shoots. And back in the day, I started a production company working with Niels on other jobs. And when I stopped that production company, Niels asked me, hey, listen, do you know a guy who can shoot food? Because I have a great idea and I want to be a director in food advertising. And that was actually the moment that I said, oh, listen, he's right in front of you and I can do this. So we made a Philips commercial with a Phantom, and we just stuck a lens in a blender, and I think that shot was gold. It was picked up by many brands, and it was a really good one. Yeah.
You put the whole experience in one work, and next, like a domino effect with
Niels.
Well,
we had Niels got the opportunity from a production company because you have to get an opportunity from someone at a certain point in your career. So you start, whatever you do, you start low and probably slow. And someone needs to see, hey, this guy can do it, or this guy can pull it off, or this girl can pull it off. And they give you a break. And then you have to hold on to that and make that special spot your project. Make every project your thing, your gold. And that's what we did with an ad that Niels made for a meatloaf campaign, and from there on, actually, we got invited, or he got a job from Philips about blenders, and that was our second ad together, and we just took the boroscope into a blender, and we put it outside. We needed so much light. I think we shot it at 2,000 frames with an f-stop of somewhere around 8. So we needed 130K light, you know, and that was just an explosion. It was in your face, and all the brands that saw that said, hey, we want to have a shot like that because that's what our product does. So after that, yeah, I mean, I did that shot for KitchenAid. We did that shot for Philips. So it was really nice.
You mentioned also Justin, the relationship with him, the teamwork is so important. I think when you find a special feeling, everything will be more easy on set. And not only, I think.
Yeah, well, it's not only that it makes life easy. I think we are also coaching each other, and we are pushing each other to our limits. So it's easy because you know each other, you can trust each other, and you can rely on each other. Also during the shoot, and also in the progress of to a shoot. But yeah, of course, it's easy when the DP and the director are very close to each other and know what they want to do together. Because we are, I mean, we have both our. I mean, it's not like that we are a duo, but I think, yeah, we shoot so much together. I think like 75 or 80% of my shoots I do with him. I also work with other DPs, but he has his own projects as well, and he shoot with other directors as well. And even then, we call each other and we talk about the project. And I say, hey, maybe you can do this, you can do that, and it's the other way around as well. He speaks to me and you say, hey, have you thought of this? Have you thought of that? Or we share new projects that we see, or something totally irrelevant but is yet inspirational for us. I mean, it's more like that kind of friendship, maybe professional friendship that we have, and that works for me really well. And I mean, you will talk to Justin in a few minutes, so you can ask him. Maybe you say what a total idiot he is.
Yeah.
He's the clown, if you know what I mean.
How many works you did together?
I think Niels and I did mainly all the stuff he did together. I obviously do some directing DOP myself, but that's tabletop things without any people. It's very difficult. It's not, and I don't like it. I think we did 90% of the jobs together. Yeah, we trust each other, and he's trying to really the thing that's that sticks him out from the crowd is he's really looking for new perspectives, new ways to look at things, and he's also pushing the boundaries of what we can do. And he's apping me. We did 25 projects together. I wish I saved all that money. Why am I spending all that money? I don't see that. But besides that, we did 25 projects together, and I think that's also something for our viewers. Don't look at when you have done a commercial, when you've shot a commercial, when you've shot a project, a film. Doesn't need to be a commercial. Just your own work. Don't look at what you have done right. Look at what you have done wrong. That's what I'm always looking at. I wouldn't say I'm never satisfied, but I see a lot of mistakes in what I've done and learn from that, because filmmaking is a learning process ever again.
Yeah. And it's so important, the teamwork with the right person that don't pull you down if something make wrong during the work. It's so important because
100%. Yeah. So for instance, that Kaufland thing, we made this bluish light situation, and we had this top light, and there the silk was not really tightly, neat. So it was spilling all over the walls. That was not good. That really didn't work. So now I'm doing that, and I'm always making sure it's really nice and tight. So it's just example.
I just put in background the Ostankino work. It's really amazing. We received some question also about the transition, the last part of the sausage transition you get in this work.
Yeah, I know. I can imagine. It's also funny to tell a little bit how that story of how that shot came in the shooting board, because originally it wasn't shot like this or meant like this. But yeah, I always when I'm pitching on a job, I always try to come up with original kind of shots, original point of views, something that surprises people and is also entertaining. And sometimes it's a little bit of magic that can do the work, and sometimes it's a bunch of things that can do the work. And in this film, it's of course about this really big sausage. So I want to establish this, and also because it's a branded film. It's a commercial. I don't want to hide the brands. I want to be a part of the story. So I said to Justin, and I like POV shots as well. So why not try to make the rig disappear and let it float in space? So what we did is that it's just a POV shot. The camera is actually mounted to the sausage. Only the device, the rig is in the online process. It's been taken away. So we had to shoot like loads of plates without any rig and without any movement. We have shot plates with hands and everything. And the online process was actually done in Russia, and they did an amazing job. It wasn't easy for the guys, for sure, because, you know, there were so many different light sources and shadows and everything. But yeah, it was in there, and it was, yeah, a strong wish from my side. And I'm very happy that that it worked out. And I'm also very happy that people asked the question, because that means that that it surprises them. And I think everybody watches this channel has a thing with film. So yeah, that's a good thing. I like it.
So this is the sausage, okay? And this is the camera. So we mounted the sausage on the camera with doggy clamps. It's very normal. If you have a gripper, they have doggy clamps. It's like a Meccano for adults. So you mount it on the lens, and then you can move it anywhere. But obviously, you have the hands, and you have the whole choreography with the sausage and the stuff. So we did that a couple of times till we thought, okay, we have it. And then we did only the camera without the sausage, over and over again, till we thought, okay, we have this movement exactly the same. And I don't do it. You have a camera operator who does it, who remembers, or if you have a good grip, he can do it, you know. So over and over again. So that's for you shoot all the plates, and then you do one with the hands without the sausage. So you just shoot a lot of plates. And super important to remember, post-production supervisor, somebody who knows how to combine all these shots in post-production. And
on set.
Yeah, on set, exactly. Because I'm a DP, Niels is a director, Lee, you know, you have grip, you have the gaffer, everybody has their own specialty. So call a post supervisor and say, listen, this is what we're going to do. What is your advice? Don't think that you know it if you don't know it. So we called him, said, what do you think? Is this a good idea? Yeah, do it like this, do it like that. If you deliver all these shots, so one with the sausage, one without the sausage, one with the hands grabbing nothing, one with the hands grabbing the sausage, all that stuff, if you deliver that, I will make it work.
Kaufland work. How did you approach on this specific work, the challenges in this work, the creative choices you did?
Well, the biggest challenge here was, I think, the set, because it was originally meant to shoot outside, and it wasn't possible for the time of year, and we couldn't travel that far with all the crew and all the actors, because they were set from previous campaigns. So we had to use this actor, so it would be crazy expensive to fly everybody around the world. So the only opportunity, because the agency wanted to have this small garden square, like if it was somewhere in Europe, we had to shoot it in the studio, but we had to build a huge set. And it also had to look like it was like this blue light approach. So yeah, that was, I think, one of the biggest challenges, because, you know, light is everything. So Justin made a great light plan. He can maybe talk with you about it a little bit later. So that was for sure a challenge. And other than that, yeah, I think, I mean, it started with the script. You know, the concept of this film was already pretty good, and a good concept can make a good film.
Yeah.
So in that case, I just came up with the idea just to have the story in the beginning. Hey, you think it's like a normal commercial, happy people gathering around the table, and then I want to, you know, pull the rug out of the edit, and just, it's going to be a little bit, you know, seductive. It's going almost like this sexy kind of food porn. It's like this barbecue galore. And yeah, and it's all the way. I mean, there's also like this internet meme. Not everybody gets it, but for me, it's like hilarious when she prays sprinkles the salt, that's from the Turkish butcher, Salt Bay, he's called, I think, and some people get that joke and some people don't. But for me, it's like a great thing to have it in the film, because it makes the film a little bit more deeper or so. So they're like hidden things that so everybody can enjoy the film in some part.
Do you have a specific camera, some lenses is in your kit, a must-have lens you have for this kind of work?
So yeah, I mean, obviously with food you want to be as close as possible to anything you do with macro lenses. So if I would give an advice to any of your viewers that dig food advertising, use ARRI macros. They are old-fashioned lenses. They are vintage lenses. They're not super fast, but you don't need it. They're like 2.1, but they're small. They're small build, so they don't obstruct you when you're going very close. So you have no shadow of the camera, no shadow of the lenses. And I always use something between a 16 and a 40. I won't go longer because we like it wide and tight. So the closer you are on the food, the wider you go. And that's exactly what's so difficult in the whole industry, is that there are not so many lenses that, well, actually I know only the ARRI macros that have made them. And furthermore, there aren't any. So ARRI macros are top dollar for tabletop in these situations. And obviously also the Optex boroscope. If you want to have an epic shot, use the Optex boroscope and put that 120 degrees, which is an 8mm lens on it. And it's mind-blowing what happens then.
Yeah, great advice.
Write it down, Optex boroscope, one of the best probe lenses ever built.
I just pinned a question, how to control the grains. I think if you have limited equipment.
I don't have trouble with grains because we don't have it really, because we're working always with the best stuff. I just switched to Sony Venice from ARRI. I like ARRI as well. To this project we're shooting ARRI and Sony. How to control the grains? Just don't push it. Don't push your camera that it becomes noisy. And if you want grain, shoot it without and then add it later. So go online and search for the sweet spot of your camera. Every camera has a sweet spot. It's called the basic setting of your camera. So let's say ARRI is 800, an ARRI Mini is 800, a Sony is 500, or you can push it to 2500. So that's where the sweet spot of your camera is, and that's where you find the less grain. Every camera has a sweet spot in the ISO settings. If you find that, you're good.
There's some question about advice for those who want to be directors.
Yeah, I can tell how it works for me. I didn't plan to become a director. It just happened in a way. And I truly made a decision in my life, I'm going to go for it. And what I meant with go for it is just to follow my heart. I know it sounds like a huge cliche, but I think that's very important that, if you want to become a director, go for it and take literally every opportunity that you get and chase them as well. I literally took every opportunity, how small they are or how big they are, and I always try to maximize the result. And I'm never happy with medium quality, if you know what I mean. So I'm very eager to make the best out of every project. And I think what's most important, you can say nice words on your website about that you are a great director, but I think the most important thing is your portfolio. Even for me now, I think the most important for me is my portfolio, because that's what I promise to deliver or what I can deliver. If agencies want to go for you or production companies, they just window shop, or they heard a name and they go to your website or they go to your Vimeo account and they can just see in a couple of minutes, okay, this is not our guy, or hey, this is our guy. And how better your portfolio is, how better it can sell yourself. And I think that's the most important thing, is just to really go for it. It doesn't per se mean that you have to go to a special school or so. I was lucky that I already did it from a young age.
And the client also on set, what is the point of relation with the clients on set?
Well, luckily as a DOP, and I say luckily because there is a lot of stuff going on, right? I mean, we are working for a client. That's what we do. So at the end, they're the ones who making the decision. If it's nice, or if it isn't nice, if their brand is good in frame, etc. So, but there is always you had a style, and that style you want to guard. Let's say your style is having a lot of contrast in your shots. So if you are being asked to shoot a commercial, you're being asked to shoot a commercial because of that style. And that's the part where sometimes you can have some kind of discussion because the client says, hey, listen, I want more fill, or I want to have less contrast, or I want to have this, or I want to have that. And that's where you try to manage that whatever you shoot is exactly on point, exactly there, that you can go to the left in the grading and you can go to the right in the grading, and your client is happy. But most of all, if you think there is real work in what you're doing, so work that you will show to the world, then you must fight for your look and style. It's always difficult because, I mean, I can understand that. A client would like to have, especially in the food, for instance, you have the Nike commercials and all that raw, hardcore stuff, which we all really like, fireworks and people running through subways, etc. It can all be a lot rougher and tougher and more low lightish situation. With food, it's always difficult. How can you make food look good but still have that edgy feeling? And that's where, for instance, I'm now working on this project. A client wants to have his logo in a barbecue. And then I'm saying, listen, we need to have some patina on that logo. We need to have it look good, but it should be authentic. The barbecue isn't new. It's been used before, etc., etc. And then obviously the client says, yeah, but I don't want any grease on my logo.
Yeah. It's not only about the skills, because you have to know the food have also a super wide audience. So you have to balance the agencies, the creatives.
Exactly.
A lot of people.
I think that's one of the hardest things in this business is being creative, but also service-minded, because that's what you're doing at the end. And for me, in the end, the client is not, or my client is not the brand. My client is the director, because if I'm doing a good job, the director will ask me back.
Yeah, absolutely, because the director usually pitch for you and bring with him in the next work. Last question on my side. What's the next challenge with Justin, of course?
Well, I still have the feel that we're just getting started. And that's a nice feel, because that means that we are still eager to make really nice projects. And the cool thing now is that because we did, it's actually a continuation of what I said before. Because your portfolio is growing, you get more and more jobs that fits your style. So you get more and more trust of the agencies you work for. So that's really helpful for me to do my thing even better and better. So the challenge is to go bigger, to go more bold, to go more daring, to go more weird maybe. It all depends on the script and the basic idea and how much we can do with it. So I think that answers your question.
The next challenge is the next project.
Okay.
Always. This business is not forgiving. You have to be always on top. You can't really make mistakes. You can, but you can't. And it's a team effort, and I think that's the most beautiful thing of this profession. It's a team effort, and every job is a challenge. And That's the thing. Keep everybody happy, and respect every job. For
Yeah,
instance, or every department. For instance, I am telling a grip what I want and not how to do it, because he
yeah,
knows better than me. If you have really good grips out there, and they know how to do it. So if I say, listen, I want a POV like this, I want to have a POV of a spoon, I want a POV of that, he knows how to rig it. I'm not gonna tell, use this, use a doggy clamp, all that stuff. So respect the department, respect the heads of the department. They're there to help you, and
and everything is
it's not an
going.
answer what you ask, but it's more of a tip. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we will do other chat together.
Would be fun. Yeah, for sure. Thank you
Thanks
so
so
much for
much.
the invite.
Thank you so much. And I noticed
Thank you.
that people appreciate a lot. So thanks from the whole community.
Yeah, thank you so much. Bye bye.
Bye bye. So man, really, thanks so much. I really loved this live chat together. Can't wait your
Thanks,
next
man.
one work to do
Thanks, everybody.
something together again. Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks so much.
Yeah. Later.
For watching.
Bye.
Oh, wonderful.
See you later, guys. Thank you.
I'm a huge fan too. Bye bye. Bye bye. A big
Ciao.
hug.
Ciao.
Ciao.